This is the blanched cauliflower, but then you look at it next to the not blanched cauliflower, and look how green this is. You're gonna mix it together.
I grow it, I cook it, and farm to table. Broccoli, peppercorn, and basil. Zucchini is a staple. I never thought I'd see potting mix or ant colonies in COVID quarantine. About to hit the garden up. The name's aLJo, I farm it up. I got seeds, I got time. Plus I'm hungry, so let's start it up. Let's go! aLJo, quarantine, gardening. In COVID-19. During a time of such uncertainty and anxiety, it is so important to have a purpose in your daily life. You can take control of your diet, get in touch with your human roots, and create your own solution to food insecurity. Make the best of this quarantine by growing what you eat.
Welcome back to my garden. I'm looking at my cauliflower today. I have 6 of them that I started from seedling and planted in this earth box container. They look great. The heads are starting to form, which is a great sign of what's to come, but I'm having some concerns. As you can see, some of the leaves are damaged, and in fact, they're getting eaten by cabbage worms. Now, there's a couple butterflies and moths that I've seen fly by, and I thought, oh, those look nice, those look cute. But when they lay their eggs and the larva hatches, that's when the problems begin. Watch out for larvae of the cabbage moth and the cabbage white butterfly. They blend into plants really well, so keep an eye out for these guys. They have been wreaking havoc on my plants. To control outbreaks, you can use organic pesticides. If you're a pacifist, that's fine. Put up netting. My goal today is to set up my cauliflower for success. As they grow bigger, I want to prevent them from turning yellow due to exposure to the sun. A couple of them are already yellowish tinted, so I want to try a method called blanching. I want to keep them as white as possible, and in order to do that, I have to cover it from the sunlight. I want to actually use the leaves themselves to cover it, and because it's not a species that does that on its own, I'm just going to grab a bunch of leaves and a rubber band, wrap it around like that. Perfect. That's more like it. So I went from this to this. Now we'll leave the cauliflower with its leaves rubber banded for a week to a week and a half, and we'll be back to harvest them. All right, here we are back in the garden. I'm here to take a look to see if they're white inside, how big they've gotten. And I've actually been able to... Penny, get over here. Penny, let's go. So I've actually been able to get a peek here at the whiteness inside, the size of the head, and the florets are just starting to break apart, which may be a couple days too late, but I think they're going to be okay. So without further ado, let's remove these rubber bands and take a look at what's inside. I have no expectations. Could be plenty of bugs. I'm just hoping for, I can always clean bugs off. I just want the head to be white. I don't want it to be scorched by the sun like my previous one. But here we are. So some of the leaves died back a little bit, might have gotten a little bit moldy. Although there is some poop, it does look white for the most part. Wow, there's only a couple pieces of poop here, and honestly a gorgeous white look. Oh, although here you go, a caterpillar right in there. So I'm gonna just have to clean that off. That looks perfect. That's how cauliflower should look. So let's chop it off. Looks great. This is a pretty successful harvest. A great cream white color. I can't from the top see too many caterpillars, but overall this has grown perfectly. It might be a day late, but the florets are starting to spread just slightly, but it's still firm on top. And besides a couple of nice caterpillars, which could be good protein, but I will stick with not eating that. The best part about cauliflower is you can eat the leaves too. Treat them like any other leafy green by cooking them or eating them raw. All right, so I got 2 more here out of 6. And so now I'm just gonna see what they look like here. Oh, it's perfect, and that's the point of the blanching here, to protect it from the sun, prevent that yellowing color that I got early on. Let's take a look at this one. Looking a little grimier than the others. So I cut the leaves off of these cauliflower, and I mean, this just looks so creamy. I am excited to make this into some cauliflower rice. Stir fry for now, just to get a little aLJo garden kind of mix, you know what I mean? The aLJo stir fry. After I harvested my remaining 4 cauliflower heads, I took them inside to prep for cooking and washed them thoroughly. Please don't eat poop, y'all. Soak it in some water, get the worms out if any. I'm rinsing the top because the caterpillars are hiding beneath the florets here. This one here. Look at that guy. Ugly. He's going down. Oh boy! Cut them up, put them over here to dry. And then this is where I'm gonna make my cauliflower rice. This is the original cauliflower. It's a little bit yellowish, greenish tint. We're gonna compare it to the original, to the new curd, which is just glowing. I'm using a food processor to grind the cauliflower to mimic rice texture and size. A grater works just as well. Just as a comparison, let's look at the colorations of these. This is the blanched cauliflower, which is perfectly white. I mean, it looks like cauliflower, right? But then you look at it next to the not blanched cauliflower, and look how green this is. Green and yellow. We're gonna mix it together and do something great. I took the cauliflower, cut it, cleaned it, took all the caterpillars out, and then chopped it up, put it in the food processor. You can also use a cheese grater, zucchini here, and adding some chicken at the end, and then a couple standard seasonings, you know, the aLJo way. Ginger, onion powder, some sesame oil, soy sauce, some garlic salt, some cayenne pepper because I love me some spice. Now, the chicken. As I let the stir fry cook on low to medium heat, I covered it with a pot top to ensure everything was heated evenly, and cooked an egg on the side for the final touches. And what better to make this excellent than some fresh chives from the garden. Take as much cauliflower rice as your heart and stomach desires, because it looks and it tastes like a traditional rice stir fry, but it's all veggies. It's a delicious plate served for one, but tastes even better served with friends and family.
Cook it, I'm farm to table. Cauliflower, okra, eggplant, and basil. Zucchini, that's a staple. Gardening, I'm about to hit my garden up. The name is aLJo, yeah, I'll farm it up. I got seeds and I got time, and I'm pretty hungry, to be honest, so it started up. Never thought I'd see potting mix and ant colonies in COVID quarantine. Whether for fun, to find peace of mind, or to combat glaring food inequities, it is time to start taking ownership of your food supply. Break free from food insecurity and food apartheid by starting a container garden today. Not tomorrow, not next week. All right, fine, you can start on the weekend. I get it, you're busy with other stuff. But start growing ASAP, because you'll never find a hobby as mentally gratifying and stomach-filling as gardening is. It takes less than 30 minutes a day and saves lots of cash in the long term. Join me in uplifting yourself, your family, and our community for generations to come.